motorcycles that came as saviors for their respective companies. Two bikes that established a benchmark in their segment in terms of handling, performance, and stability. Two brands that enjoy a legacy unlike any other. Today, we witness the battle of two epic Japanese forces that have won over people's hearts right from the day they were launched. Two bikes that became instant blockbusters in their own accord, and two bikes that will always remain special in the history of Indian motorcycling. Yamaha FZ and Suzuki Gixxer. It's like Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow battling it out for supremacy. Welcome to Dinos Vault, and today in this battle, only one of these shall stand victorious. Now first, let's start with the design. It's 2019 now, and the scenario has completely changed, with people embracing biking culture, drenching themselves with knowledge about motorcycles, and the expectations running sky high. Also, the competition has heavily intensified, with the likes of Pulsars and RTRs really storming the market with great value for money propositions. But Japanese brands always stick to their basics. Their bikes are all about riding pleasure, offering superb build quality, and delivering pure performance. So talking about the design, looks and visual appeal are always subjective and center around each one's own personal taste. So looking at the newly upgraded FZS version 3.0 and the new Gixxer 155, I personally like the FZ more, as the form factor and the aesthetics look more visually appealing and the design looks more cohesive as a whole and well put together. Now the Gixxer does look good from certain angles, like straight up front or from the back, but when viewed side on, the headlamp looks like a flat plate, which doesn't look perfectly cohesive with the rest of the design. Also, the FZ's muscular urban street fighter concept is clearly evident with the beefed up fuel tank and the older MT series inspired headlamp layout, which lends the bike better road presence. The Gixxer, on the other hand, feels like an apex predator, borrowing its sharp and animalistic shoulder lines from the GSX S750. The tail lamp on the Gixxer looks better compared to that of the FZ, but the FZ version 3 in the standard blue color with the optional decals kit looks absolutely stunning, and you can check out my walk around feature of that bike by following the link in the description portion below. The twin port exhaust of the Gixxer looks more premium with the chrome treatment, but the seat of the FZ is practically more usable and is very well laid out such that ladies can access it without having to struggle. The room is also plenty for the rider as well as the pillion here. The Gixxer suffers here as well because of its compact design. The tail section is lifted up and the space is in short supply, so only a supermodel can feel comfortable on this seat. The foam quality used for both the seats is good, but the problem with the Gixxer is that the seat is angled slightly downwards, so each time the rider uses the brakes, he comes sliding down the seat and hits the tank. Now that is not the case with the FZ because of its flat bed seat. First of all, the foam padding is more. The seat is 5 mm thicker than the FZ version 2, and it is not too hard nor is it too soft, and there is no tendency of the rider to slide down the seat and hit the tank each time he applies the brakes. Now talking about the handlebar positioning, both the bikes shine brightly here, as the foot pegs and the handlebar positioning is spot on to offer a comfortable and fatigue-free riding experience through the city or even on the highways. The switchgear is of good quality for both. The speedo console is kind of sedate and bland for the FZ. We get a standard digital console with just the basic info. There is no gear position indicator, no clock, and no shift light. The Gixxer speedo console, on the other hand, is one of the finest in segment with all the info that we hope for. We get a gear position indicator, clock, an RPM shift light, and more. Next, talking about the features, both the Gixxer and the FZ get new LED headlamps that are supposed to offer better light spread while consuming lesser battery. Talking about the fuel tank capacity, the FZ offers a bigger tank with a 12.8 litre tank compared to the 12 litre tank of the Gixxer. A larger tank would result in greater tank range, with you having to make lesser stops for refueling. Talking about the weight, the Gixxer weighs 140 kgs, whereas the FZ weighs a mere 137 kgs, which means the FZ enjoys the weight advantage here. But what to do with lesser weight when we don't have adequate horsepower? So the Gixxer strikes back here in the most important segment, which is performance and power. The Gixxer gets a bigger power plant with a 155cc engine compared to the 149cc engine of the FZ. Also, the Gixxer puts out more power at 14.1 PS compared to 13.2 PS of the FZ, and also more torque at 14 Newton meters compared to 12.8 Newton meters of the FZ. So this is where the Gixxer edges past the FZ in terms of performance, riding dynamics, riding pleasure, the thrill, the excitement and the intensity. The Gixxer's sporty and rev-happy engine simply blazes past the FZ. Now the FZ is no sluggard either. It does the job well for an urban street fighter and is ideal for city rides, but when it comes to the open stretches, it runs out of steam a little earlier compared to the Gixxer. While the Gixxer tops out at 120 km per hour, the FZ is better off doing speeds of around 95 to 100 km per hour. Post 100 km per hour is when the Gixxer feels a little more confident compared to the FZ. A thing to note here is that now both the bikes get fuel injection as standard, because earlier Gixxer used to come with carbureted as well as FI option. But now Suzuki has made FI mandatory, so just like the FZ, the Gixxer also gets fuel injection which ensures precise air-fuel mixture. Moreover, just like FZ's Blue Core technology, the Gixxer also features Suzuki's eco-performance technology that optimizes combustion efficiency and reduces friction loss, thereby offering a perfect blend of power and economy. The initial pickup right off the mark is much better on the Gixxer. The mid-range surge is also better for the Gixxer, and the stability that the bike has on offer post 100 km per hour is also more confidence-inspiring compared to the FZ. So in terms of performance and handling, the Gixxer outshines the FZ. Now please note, it's not that the FZ is bad, it's only when you compare it with the Gixxer that it feels a little left behind in terms of performance. Refinement is good on both the bikes with no hint of vibration throughout the mid-range. The clutch feel is better on the FZ, it is lighter and the clutch lever is of slightly better quality. The gearbox works smoothly for both the bikes. Both the bikes get fuel injection, so the engine is buttery smooth, the acceleration is nice and clean and linear, and the throttle response is nice and immediate without any latency or snatchy behavior. Talking about the brakes, the FZ gets a larger 282mm front disc compared to the 266mm unit of the Gixxer. At the back, the Gixxer gets a larger 240mm disc compared to the 220mm disc of the FZ. Now talking about the 65 to 0 km per hour timing in my braking test segment, the Gixxer scores better with a timing of just 1.5 seconds as opposed to 1.9 seconds timing of the FZ. So in terms of braking, though both the bikes offer single channel ABS as standard and do offer a good braking performance overall, the Gixxer marginally outshines the FZ here as well. Suspension wise, both the bikes get 41mm front forks that offer a superb front end feel. At the back, we get a monoshock that supports the chassis really well at high speeds and also enhances the bike's handling characteristics. Both the bikes get a 140 section radial rear tire that offers good road grip even on wet surfaces. Now mileage wise, there is no official claim as such, but as per user feedback, I think we can expect anything around 45 kmpl from both of these bikes in city conditions if ridden sensibly. In terms of pricing, the FZ is priced around 98,000 rupees ex-showroom here in Hyderabad, whereas the Gixxer is priced at rupees 1 lakh ex-showroom. So the FZ enjoys the price advantage here compared to the Gixxer, but the Gixxer is just 2,000 rupees dearer and in turn offers more power, more torque, better handling and overall better performance. So the verdict is that you won't go wrong if you end up choosing either of the two. But if your primary usage is through the city with very rare highway rides and if comfort is your top priority, then the FZ is a better option for you. But if you want a machine that can be flicked around in the city, offers great stability on the highways and can also be enjoyed thoroughly at track day events, and if performance is your top priority, then you can go ahead with the Gixxer without even thinking twice. Well, I guess this concludes my comparo of the Gixxer versus the FZS version 3.0. I just hope you found this video useful. If you like what you've seen and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to be the first to get all the updates from Dinos Vault. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, God bless and ride safe.